to mediate this matter and do that which is best for our community, Lord. I ask you to touch each and every one of these people here in front of me who are in leadership positions over our community. Especially, Lord, I ask you to touch Mr. Peter Jolie, John Perez, Mr. Ramos, and all those who have charge over us, even those who have the first service residential. I ask you all to think. The Lord says, with the deeds that you do in the flesh, you're going to have to count for them in the spirit. We ought to have to go before the just judge. And I'm asking you, Lord, now to touch this meeting, touch our homes, Lord, and let that which is right in your sight happen. In Jesus' name I ask. Amen. 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 Amen.
Back there. Move on in here.
This is an illegal meeting, and that's everything that is done since August the 3rd is illegal. I make the motion.
Do I have a second? All those in favor signify by saying aye.
There's nothing that you can do. Oh, what the judge said.
The next vote, the next motion is to Linda Riva as the Secretary Treasurer and Tony Iorio as the Assistant Secretary Treasurer. Do I have a motion?
No! We are the people! No!
No! All those opposed?
It's not being scored! No! No village four, no six.
Signal by hand.
The next item on the agenda is to ratify authorization to file a lawsuit against Mr. Jolly, Mr. Distremps, and Mr.
Who is this guy talking?
For removing the money from the association funds as well as the equipment and records. Do I have a motion?
I make the motion.
Who are you? Who are you? No!
Mr. Padilla?
Where is the agenda? There's no agenda for this.
Where is the agenda for this meeting?
Where is the agenda?
Mr.
For this meeting.
It's not a legal meeting. This does not count. You guys can do whatever you want. This is not.
Don't you already? You should be ashamed.
You don't have a vote, you do not have a vote. You cannot vote.
Residential by canceling the notice of discrimination on August 16th. Do I have a motion?
I make the motion.
Do I have a second?
Let's forget to go! Let's forget to go!
No village four!
All those opposed?
No!
Mr. Iorio? Motion carries. The next item on the agenda is to change the signatories on all bank and financial accounts by removing Mr. Peter, Charlie Noel, and
Who are you? What's your name? Who is this guy?
all those in favor signify by saying aye. Mr. Iorio? Mr. Young?
No! No!
Motion is changing the locks back to control.
You can say whatever you want!
Association. Do I have a motion?
I make the motion.
Ms. McSnell? Who's opposed? Anyone opposed?
No! No!
Mr. Iorio? Mr. Young? Ms. Boros? The second major item on the agenda at 9:30 a.m. this morning.
Who don't live here? You don't live here. You don't live here.
Maldonado, go home, Maldonado. Go home, Maldonado. You don't belong here.
Well, the people
We don't want to hear
Second for adjournment. The meeting is adjourned.
administration building over. All of us. Go in there and take it. Let's go. Let's go. Building over. Now? Yeah. Now. Yeah, it's better to go now. Go get that building now. I'm done. Let's go.
Let's take the building out. No, let's go to the building.
What?
go get it now. Let's tell these people. Let's go get it. Let's go. Sit down, please. Sit down. Have a seat. Not finished yet. Ladies and gentlemen,
where's the mic? Be quiet. Sit down, please. Listen to him.
Sit down. We're not finished.
Ladies and gentlemen, please have a seat. Ladies and gentlemen, please. Have a seat. The meetings are over. Their meeting is over, or may not have started yet. So have a seat. Have a seat. Thank you. Now you have just witnessed a hostile takeover. These people have been stealing our money since they got here. And every time a director asks a question, they've been removed from the board. That is their modus operandi. So it's not over yet, it's just one step backward. It's only one step backward. You have just witnessed a lawyer chair a whole association meeting.
It's not an
Since when is having history of
FSR meeting, that's what it is.
This was an FSR meeting, hostile takeover, with a bunch of crooked board members. Jose Padilla, let me finish. Jose Padilla, 11 Travis, and Doggy from Village 9. Let me give you a little bit of Village 9. Village 9 has 277 homes. Today, listen. Today, only 82 have paid the assessment. Correct. 82 out of 277. Yet, no letters were sent to them for not paying the assessment. But you are behind 6 months and they want to take the homes away from you. What has happened in the past when Miss Rena Ward was the president of this association? She came from Village 9. And you can see the result. You can see the result. They hire a legal company to come here to steal the money. They hire illegal lawyers to come here to steal away your home. Today, as we speak, 3,000 of your homes have been in foreclosure because of illegal action by these lawyers. And what they do is, they keep the meeting in the morning so you're not here, and they do the things behind closed doors, illegal stuff.
That's what they always do.
We come here to tell you the truth. They don't want you to know the truth. In court on Friday, Mr. Oreo admitted to the court that Village 4 does not exist.
But he still exists.
Village 4 is part of Solo Vita Grand. Why is he on the board?
Why?
If it doesn't exist?
Village 6, the same thing.
Why is he making decisions for you? When he should be there in the first place?
Why can't we get an answer? Why do they
they call it, that's what they call it. Village 6 does not exist. Village 6 is part of Disney. Yet, we have Dan Young sitting here on the board and making decisions for you. He shouldn't be there in the first place. Village 8, which is way back by Village 7, Avatar only has 7 vacant lots. Yet Tony Oreo appointed somebody who lives in Arizona, doesn't live here, to be on the board. So these are 3. And no. Linda Contreras was never elected by the people. She was appointed by Tony Oreo. That's why she's a little puppet for Avatar. What you need to do is recall her back. I need you guys in Village 3 to have a recall, and then we'll solve this problem. Because she doesn't belong here. What's the next one? Mr. Padilla, missing in action. Supposed to be a religious person. Guess what? He had a special deal with Mr. Tony Oreo of Avatar, where they give him a piece of land that is worth almost $500,000 for $10,000. Where is his interest? It's not with you. It's for corporate America. You ought to know the truth. I'm telling you the truth. I've been telling the truth since I came here. And I will continue to tell you the truth. The fight is not over. It has just begun.
Yeah, just begun. Guys, enough is enough. Enough is enough. Enough is enough. Enough is enough. Enough is enough.
First, folks, let me say thank you for coming out. I appreciate your support. All the guys do. Couldn't do it without you. I had an opportunity to take a look at this little handout that's out here. And if you guys check out the column that says operating funds, you scroll down to the bottom, 2015 year-to-date balance, $0.87 million.
What page is that? The first one?
Front page. $0.87 million. That means you've got $870,000 to get you between now and the end of the year. Payroll every 2 weeks, $180 grand. You guys do the math. You guys do the math. All right. Reserve funds. I called Charles Schwab myself, and I happen to know there's 3.2 in that account, not 2.7. Their numbers just are not matching. They don't match.
Yeah, they put this out the way they want it.
And somebody asked why they run out of the building so quick, so you can't ask these questions.
They don't want to know.
They're cowards and they
Ask
take
the
the cops with
questions.
them. The cops don't stay here to listen to us.
You know, I don't know how else I can put it. The numbers just don't jive. And if the numbers aren't jiving, either somebody's hiding or they're incompetent, or both. Or both. Either way, we got to fix it. Now, clearly, we took our case to the judge on Friday. She didn't see it our way. She granted the injunction. She's forcing us to give the money back. Okay? The only option we got left is a political one. That means we got to get out there. We got to pound the doors. We got to get signatures for the recall ballots. It's the only way it's going to happen, folks.
How many ballots do you need to recall?
Depends on which village you're in, but let's say we start with
State man right here.
Village 8 has about.
With him, I would not mind working.
Village 8 has 1,500 or so lots in it. Problem is, most of them are owned by investors. So I don't want to. Some of them might be willing to help us, but I don't want to bet on it. Village 3 has a little shy of 5,000, which means we need about 3,000 to be safe. Village 2, I forget how many are in Village 2, but it's Village 2 has 4,000 and something homes, so you're still talking about 2,500 signatures. What's that? We already have Village 1. We don't need to worry about Village 1.
What about 5?
Village 5.
Yeah, what about
Avatar
5?
still holds quite a few seats in Village 5, so that's something we're going to have to turn our attention to as well.
What about Village 7? Village 7, okay. Village 7, okay. 7 is good.
Guys, we have some tough decisions to make in the next day or so.
How is the thing? How to get it done? Clearly, how to get it done. What do the people do to get these signatures, to get a
Get
person,
involved.
to get a person
We gotta get involved.
together, to get one person that we're all gonna know is the right person to put that person in.
Last week, Stephen and myself literally spent the entire week prepping for that hearing on Friday. If I didn't have to go to court on Friday, what I would have been doing instead is calling and emailing you, setting up crews to go out and get signatures. So the choice in front of us is, do we take the time to appeal the judge's decision, or do we spend our time collecting signatures? Well, we haven't. Judge granted the injunction. The actual order will be signed sometime this
So how come you
afternoon. I
can't
should
do
get a copy
both?
before close of business.
How come you can't do both? How come you can't appeal and get
Well,
signatures off?
because since we have to give the money back, we have limited financial resources.
Okay.
So I don't think we have the resources to do both.
Why
But
did
the,
you
what's that?
What was her reason? Who's
Well,
talking to she in?
She made a couple of findings of fact. One, and probably the biggest one in our favor, is that she recognized that 1099 did in fact give the executive committee all the powers of the master board. Now, what she did though, is she said, but since the meeting wasn't noticed properly, at least in her opinion, everything we did didn't work. She looked at the bylaws that call for master board meetings being 5 business days and applied that to committees, even though our documents say nothing about the time limit for committee meetings. The statute does. The statute says 48 hours when your docs are silent, and that's what I argued on Friday. She didn't see it that way. She said that 5 business day meeting applied to both committees and to the master board, and because of that, she ruled against us. That was the biggest reason. She put in a couple of others, but that
You
was,
probably get some money.
that was the big one.
She runs for election, don't forget.
Give us a name so we don't
I'm more
vote for
into
her.
the present and the future moving forward. That's the past. That's already done. That's done deal.
Right.
All I want to know is what goes on the form that we have to bring to the people to get their signatures. Do we need their emails on it? What do we need to get done via form?
The DBPR actually has a state-sponsored form that I've already downloaded. All I have to do is print them. And it also comes with a packet that tells you what the procedures are for getting it filled out and filed. They lay it all out for us.
Where is that?
Right now, I got it on my laptop. I just need to print them up. But we're talking for Village 3,000 copies. So,
Yeah, I'm in June, so, you know.
oh, we got to do the same thing for Village 2.
Right, so I want to give the DNI.
Any people Village 1?
And look, okay, you got people, so whatever we can do to help you get it done. I know you're talking about 3,000, but some of us can do some things to assist
Well,
you.
and I appreciate that because I'm going to need you. There's no way I'm getting 3,000 signatures on my own. So we have sign-up sheets and everything. Make sure I've got your contact info. Tell the guys from one of the back. Sure.
We have Village 2, and what are the other villages that we need the signatures? Because I'm in Village 2, so I'm speaking up for Village 2. What are the villages that we need those signatures? If you email me that copy, I will get my daughter to do the print for Village 2.
It's 2, 3, and 9. 2, 3, and 9. That's 2.
So somebody
2
from
is
3, could they stand up and
2 is Jose, 3 is Linda, and 9 is Dottie.
so we gotta know.
What about 8? What about Village 8?
Yes.
A suggestion.
Let's set up a team for each community to ramrod that huge community.
That's a good thing. We are going to all go over there. Once we finish with the questions and answers, we're going to go to their property and march around the area. Remember,
Hold on, guys. Let's keep it orderly, and I'll answer everybody's questions before we leave. Sorry.
Give me the mic, Martin. Give me the microphone, but they can.
The form that you're talking about, how many pages is it?
1 page.
It's one? I will print them on my copy machine and pay for the cases of paper that we need.
Okay, well, I appreciate that.
I will do that.
Give it to him.
Ladies and gentlemen, a simple suggestion to achieve the objective. Let us determine the villages, how many villages. The villages can appoint someone who would volunteer to be a leader. That leader can appoint assistants, because the leader alone will not be able to do all, for example, 2,000 homes. And that's how we can go about it. Today we can do it. I'm in Village 2. I'm willing to be a leader, or I can be an assistant. I don't mind. In like manner, Village 3, Village 2, 1, 5, etc. And this is how we can do it. We have to volunteer. We must have a leader who would, the volunteers would work with the leader in each village.
My wife and I stood up and said, why do we need to have any company replace one person?
Judge Ward us to give the money back.
Yeah,
If
yeah.
we were to set up like a GoFundMe account, how many of you would be willing to help?
Thank you.
What's been mentioned so far?
We're going to keep working that angle. I know we had more questions. Since the judge is ordering us to give the money back, if you'd be willing to chip in financially to support the effort to get the recalls done. So I know a lot of people in here have indicated their willingness to do that. We appreciate that. And we might very well need your help. Oh, we had the paper donated. That was nice. Who did that? Oh, sorry. Guys, come on. I'm one person, all right? Hold on. And I'll get to you, I promise. I know you've been waiting very patiently. Recuse himself? I don't know.
John.
When I looked at the order of recusal, the judge didn't say why he recused himself. He just entered the order of recusal. I don't know why.
My other thing is all these little forms that they're giving you, it has to be the actual homeowners,
Right.
not the renters.
Right.
I agree with that. You have to make sure you're getting the signature from the homeowner.
Right. When we're coordinating the efforts to go out and get the signatures, there's actually a packet that gives you the instructions from the DVPR on how to do this properly. You have to read it very, very carefully. Okay? Committee in the back.
Can I just have one?
I'll be right back.
Listen, while you guys are getting your questions answered, I'm gonna go sit over here. Can you send me one person from each village that wants to lead in their village, and then we'll get started. Okay. Give me village 2 first.
Sorry. Go ahead. What's your name again?
Mine?
Yeah.
Kwanzaa Frazier from Village 2. I just want you to remember in Village 2 that we have the NAACP. The president lives in our village, Village 2, and he wants to get involved.
Yes.
I also want to say, when we come out with these papers, right? I don't know all the villages, but as far as leadership, I think we should all come out together. Even to help the lady do the copy, we should come in force so that our neighbors can see that we're serious. And the more that we gather together, not because I'm in Village 1 or I'm in Village 2 or 3, we need to come together, make a day, and come out in a force. Once they see that you're in a force, the neighbors will see that they need to come out too. And then we will win this if we stick together. We're not Village 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. We are together and we must stay together.
All right. This gentleman has been waiting for a while.
Another question. What do we, the Louisiana people, gotta do to become a city?
No. That's not right now.
But in the long run, I've been here since 1999.
First, we gotta get
What we gotta do to become a city in the long run?
Yeah, folks, that's a separate. Excuse me, that's a separate issue. Right here, the people are united because of the issue we have now. But if we start talking about incorporating, you're going to divide them. Because there's people that are for and against. We don't want to divide anybody. That's for another day.
Something else that, and I know some people have approached me about this and asked whether or not incorporation would be helpful. There are pros and cons with incorporation. But some people might be laboring under the misconception that if you incorporate, the HOA goes away. That's not true. It's not true. Incorporation would not make the APV go away.
So we can get rid of the people in there.
There are pros and cons.
And
There are
even if you
reasons.
want to incorporate, this board has to be made healthy.
Right. First. Right. The incorporation discussion can, obviously as a community, you guys can discuss whether or not you want to incorporate, but it's not going to solve this problem. This is its own problem. So what fix it. And you guys can figure out whether or not incorporation is something you want to do.
Public announcement, I just need Village 2 people to step up to the dais.
They're already there.
Everybody's up there for Village 2?
Yeah. No, we didn't lose yet. We didn't lose yet. Like this, she's a lady from Village 9. The witch from Village 9.
Quantity of copies, okay, for
Mr. President, no.
Is every household has to
That's all right.
fill out
I'm still in the
a whole package paper, or are there like 10 or 25 line signatures on a page?
Now, each form will be filled out. Each form will be filled out. All they have to do is get the record title holder to sign the line. Sign the dotted line.
So it's a form for each household.
For each household, that's right. One
Per lot, one form per lot. And what is the time frame? We're in August 31st of 2015 now.
The judges ordered me to give the money back within 2 days, so.
Well, we can.
The longer it takes us to do this, the less likely it is we're gonna have resources to close the meeting. So we need to do this like yesterday.
And when the resources run out, what will happen?
Your assessments are gonna go up, or you're gonna end up in bankruptcy.
That's what they were run.
That's what we've been trying to tell you guys. I mean, well, I know you guys have been hearing it, but they haven't. We've been trying to tell them that for months. I mean, look at their own numbers. You got 870 grand left for the rest of the year. With payrolls $180 every 2 weeks.
$50,000 every 2 weeks, you guys do the math.
Plus the benefits. Another 30 grand or so for 2 weeks for the benefits.
I really have a statement.
Hello?
I want to ask that everybody start listening more than talking, because during the first part of that meeting, I could not understand, hear anything because of the people yelling. So I want to ask that all of us work together to listen first, and then when we get with our own little, we then voice ourselves so that that one person who is our leader will speak for us. Because we are heckling so much until nobody understands what's going on. Thank you.
There was no meeting. They were doing whatever they wanted there.
Easy fellas, hold up.
They want to say whatever they want and get out.
Hold on, guys.
We've become a group that...
Easy, guys. I promise I'm not going anywhere until all the questions are answered, okay?
We've become a group that's reactionary and not proactive. You know, I think it's been hard. We've had great citizens like Annette and Val and Keith who have really pushed forward for us. And I think our problem is, as citizens, we don't know how to do these things for ourselves. You know, there is nobody telling us, how do we get a hospital here for us? You know, how do we get a parkway so we're not bound by, you know, Point Santa Boulevard that may flood over this week, and then we're left with one alternative of, you know, Pleasant Hill. There is nobody. We need to become more proactive for ourselves as a community. And going forth with that, are there ways that we can adapt the bylaws so that, you know what, these assessments can't be raised? So that, you know what, we have to live in the community, to represent the community, you know, not live in Arizona, or represent every village by one, you know, Tony Iorio sits on every village. That shouldn't be. It is about the homeowners, and we need to become more proactive and look at our bylaws and come to meetings, whether we, you know, and it's not right. They're not being posted like they should be by the board or anything else. But you know what? This is the most I've ever seen out of the community ever come together for any kind of community being. And so going forth, we need to look together and get with Peter and John and Victor and tell them what our needs are. We need to go to the other board members. If we're stuck with them, we need to go with them and let them know our voice. This is what we need. You know what, if these developers are going to be here, then you know what, you need to tell them this is what we need in our community, and you better work with us, because you know what, you're not going to draw any people here if you don't have anything for them. So you better look out for the homeowners, because you know what, they're the ones keeping this community afloat. But if you let things run to the ground and continue down this path, nobody is going to want to come here, and you know what, they're not going to sell land, they're not going to sell homes.
Great comment. Yes, there is a way to amend the bylaws, but we have to control 2/3 of the master board or make it happen. So those are options that we can definitely look at in the future. But until we solve this problem, it's
I just want to say something. I just want to thank the People's Board and Ms. Brown for keeping us. I get a lot of emails and knowing what's going on, keeping us current and up to date. So if we could just give them a hand for all of their hard work, and we say God bless you, keep doing what you're doing. We're praying for you all the time, amen?
Hey, I just got 3 questions. First being, you said the judge recused himself, the original judge?
Yeah.
That's just a little weird in my opinion. The second one, I need to get on a mailer list. My email's not connected to anything, just want to know how to do that. What village do you want to get on? 3.
We need you.
Yeah, everybody from 3.
I'm thinking about it, but I'm an employee, so.
No, he works for FSR.
Doesn't matter, you can be an employee, you
The
can
third question,
vote.
Friday, they rekeyed the final truck, and somebody, they got a little wind that that bill is going to the home association. How much is that bill, that the final bill of cost to resync all the Dodge trucks? 1 key, 1 duplicate for 18 trucks, that's 36 keys, at my guess, $150 each. That bill's on us. And technically, the board should have approved that. I'm just wondering, I just want to make sure that did get approved and that.
They approve it themselves. They got all cloud in there to approve whatever they want.
apparently they're not terribly concerned with dividing the other board members between the bill. Just two instead of 3.
My name's Claudia Brennan, I'm from Village 7. I have never, ever, I didn't even know what was going on here, because I have never, ever gotten an email stating any of the information of this. I happened to hear from one of the ladies club members, which is why I'm here. But you mentioned that you need a signature from the title, the title holders.
The homeowner.
The homeowners. But Village 7, so many of them are all rented out. How do you get a signature from somebody that lives in?
Village 7, we got some people already.
We don't need them.
Representative from 7.
We have Village 7.
We don't need Village 7.
Folks, I'm from Village 7, so I'm on your side. Don't be looking for signatures to replace me. I'm on your side. Let's get this straight.
Village 9, Village 3, and Village 2 are the ones.
How many of people here from Village 9?
Who's here from Village 9?
Nobody.
This is a big problem. We never get people from Village 9 here. Here's nothing to answer the lady down over here. If you read your Portiana Pioneer from page 1 to page whatever is the last page, you'll find out when we have a meeting. My wife and I, we've been here 6 years. We haven't missed one meeting. My wife and I have been here, we have challenged the board for many, many years. Some of you people need to be here all the time. This wouldn't have happened if you had a big got involved at the time when we had the meeting. We could have squashed this 3 years ago before FSI got here. When they came up with that was the leader here for the homeowner association. She left. They came in here with 3 companies. My wife and I stood up and said, why do we need to have any company replace one person? The board said we were right. 6 months later, they bought Maldonado here. He said, I am here by myself, and this is, I'm the replacement for Jeanette. The board with Tony Iorio, the rest of them from Allentown, other people that were on the board and have quit, signed Colonial. Not one person, but a company. If you're all we here then, we could have stopped it. And that Brown and a few others, we were here. We jumped up and said, no, this is what's happening. If you didn't come out there, you've been here, you should have been listening.
All right, all right. Let me explain some things to you and how things are done legally here. All right?
In order for me to get the hospital here in Poinciana, I had to take certain steps. So you have to understand. Please listen to what I'm saying. Please listen to what I'm saying. How to get things done. There have been people in this community that come to me and ask how to get things done, and I've shown them, and it has worked. You cannot do it from this level down here. It has to be done from up in Tallahassee. When we got the approval for the certificate of need, I first started off by sending a letter to Charlie Crist, asking him to get rid of the certificate of need as not being in the best interest of Florida, because it was a revolving door situation. As soon as we would win, it would get challenged, and we start all over again. So I asked Charlie Crist to put in the bill. Charlie Crist put in the bill. I then was invited up to Tallahassee to speak before the Senate committee and to tell them why we needed a hospital here. I sent out emails to every one of the representatives in Florida, not just in Poinciana, not just in Middle Florida, and Central Florida. I sent it to all of the Floridian representatives, senators, telling them to help Poinciana. If you don't tell this entire state that we need help here, because it's not just happening in here in Poinciana, it's happening all over Florida. So I got emails from a lot of ones, especially the ones who are running for office, which is a big thing next year, asking them for your help. I got lots of emails from the representatives telling me that they were going to help me, all right? And in particular, I had Paula Dockery. She's the one, when I sent a letter to the editor saying that she was the only one that helped us, she was the one that asked Charlie Crist to send me up to Tallahassee. That's how you get things done. You don't do it just here. You have to get to legislators out there to change the law. I got the certificate of need law changed. They didn't get rid of it, but they streamlined it so that if anybody protests or challenges us again, they got to pay the legal fees, which can run into the millions. So that stopped them. They started to challenge us again when they saw that the change had been made. They stopped, and they said, we're not challenging anymore, or we would have never gotten a hospital. So what I'm trying to explain to you is, you've got to send letters to your legislators telling them to change the HOA laws so that developers can't continue to control us. If you don't let your legislators know, it's going to stand still. John Cortez said he's trying to push it through. He's by himself because the rest of the state is not paying attention. We have to make the rest of the state pay attention. So you send emails to all the state representatives and all the senators in Florida, letting them know that we want to change this HOA law and explain why, and that we need their help.
It sounds to me like there has to be a concerted effort to
Yes.
get people on the email list to inform this.
Well,
we need to share that with people.
Let me explain to you how it was done.
Well, let me finish.
We sat up tables. We had tables set up here. We set tables up in front of Publix. We set them in front of Walmart. And I had 1,200 signatures on a petition, each individual one. And I sent that up to Tallahassee, to Charlie Crist. I sent it to all the representatives, and I sent it also to ACA, who was in charge of it. So we have to sit down, trying to get it to everybody's house is not that easy. It's easier sometimes to just sit in front of Walmart, sit in front of Publix to get the signatures done, and sit in front of this building here when people are coming in.
I agree, but we need to take several different approaches to cover the whole base. What I'm saying is, we could email every representative in the state, but there has to be guidance. And one of the best things can help is some people are not good at expressing their comments. There needs to be 2 or 3 draft emails prepared for the people, so they can be used and they can be varied a little bit.
Yeah, we did that as well.
I don't know, I've never seen it, so.
But yeah, well, we did that as well. We had everybody emailing the representatives. We also had, as I said, petitions set up to all the representatives.
Can we maybe think about a time frame and a date for actually putting that together so that the word gets spread out throughout Poinciana on a particular time and date, that we would come together, like you said, various locations to sign these things that have to go up to Tallahassee or wherever. We can do that, right? We can do that? All right.
Do we need special stationery for this, or can we start today with who we have here?
No, he said you have to use the petition form.
We have a petition form.
Well, Stevie, after this meeting, Chris and I are going to get those forms ready for everybody, okay? Yes, so, yeah, we even have a volunteer. I want you guys to know this. I think I might have touched upon this at the meeting the other day. That judge tried to absorb 40 years of history in 3 hours. It's nuanced and it's complex, and that's why we don't like to go before judges, because often they get it wrong. So, what do? We will control our destiny.
Exactly.
We're going to get people out there. We're going to sign the petitions, and we'll get those toxic people off the board. Okay? We control it.
I have a suggestion. Is that most people might not have the time to come to sign. Perhaps if we get door to door, explain to them in a group, get a signature. I think that would work. That is one. I also have here with me a representative from the Republican Party who is also taking notes of what's going on in the media. So we got to get the same page. We have to call all these people and get them involved, as Mr. Brown said. Not just sit and just come here and just argue and fight for ourselves. We must tell our friends. In fact, I have another proposal. There's a lot of commissioners in Florida who will be running for offices. I will be taking the opportunity to contact some of them to the next meeting that they can come here, because let them know what's going on in Osceola. Because Osceola, if they know what's going on in Osceola, they can help us in Poinciana. So we got to start from our home, not going out of our homes.
Okay, I need to address that, and I need to address all of it. I have been doing a download of all the homeowners in Poinciana, and I'm doing them by the villages. I know exactly what Avatar owns. I know exactly what Fairfield owns. I know exactly who the owners are of every piece of property. And once I get them done by the villages, I can give you that list and highlight who the resident owners are. Yes. And that is who the houses you need to go to. That's excellent. What's your name? What's your name? And I will get that up. I've been working on it. Believe me, it's a lot. It's a big job. Yeah.
We have to make sure it's coordinated though, because we can't have doubling of signatures. If we double signatures, that gives them an opportunity to throw it all away if we screw it up. So we got to make sure it's done right.
What's the procedure once you? When will be the next meeting?
There's a question on the. There's a question. What's the procedure once we get the signatures? The statute says we have to give the signatures to the board of whichever home we're recalling, or Village 2, those three. And they're required by statute to hold a meeting within 5 days. Okay, so we don't even have to wait for them to get a quorum or notice it or whatever. They're required to do it within 5 days. Now they have an opportunity to object. All right, they probably will. And then the DVPR has a binding arbitration that we have to go to. How long that takes, but that they're probably going to make us do that. So, but theoretically, if nobody objects to the recall, you can get it done within 5 days once we have the signatures.
We just have an election coming up in January. Anybody that wants to run on the board has to file their application next month.
This month.
September. We have an election coming up in February of next year. In order to be on that board, you have to apply to the APB next month.
Although, if we manage to capture a majority of the board, we can change the election procedures. So, and all these ballots that we're passing around, if we're recalling more than a majority of the board, which we are, we have to actually name candidates to replace them. Okay, so we have to have our folks in line before we get the signatures, go out and get signatures, because people have to write in the names.
Is the next meeting tomorrow at 11?
What meeting?
Are we having another meeting here?
I don't know, are we having a meeting?
A lot of people don't know the procedure here. We have 9 villages. Each village is independent. Now we have a crooked master board. You know they're not going to call for the minutes. So we have to rely on the village meeting to get the people out. I call for my meetings, village 1, right here. And I give the information out. So if you're from Village 2 or Village 5, you can come to Village 1 meeting where we can give you the information for what's happening in Point Siena and the group board members. So the next meeting, my next meeting is the second Tuesday of the month, right here at 7 o'clock. 7 p.m. Next, the second Tuesday of the month, right here. Tuesday the 8th, 7 p.m. right here. The second Tuesday.
Can I briefly say something? The problem is, you come to these meetings, we see the same familiar faces when we come here. And the problem is, there hasn't been a sense of community. I think is part of the problem. There's no sense of community. I don't know how many of you really know your neighbors. I mean, I grew up in a rather large town for Iowa of over 30,000 people. I mean, you'll look at a town in Iowa, and usually the population is maybe 500. So to live in a town of 30,000 people, you know, I knew who my neighbors were. I spoke with my neighbors. You could rely on your neighbors. You would see them come out and help you shovel snow. And for the first time since I've lived here in 10 years, and since my husband's lived here in 25 years, do we actually know our neighbors. And they actually come out to help you cut grass or trim. I'll cut, he'll trim, whatever it may be. But the problem is, he's a renter. He's the first renter I've had that's actually maintained things. But the problem is, everybody else on the block could care less about anybody else. Our neighbors will have parties and park wherever they want, have music till 2 in the morning, and it doesn't matter. We have new renters who have no clues about the association rules or regulations, and you know what? The people renting or owning these homes don't care to inform them. So you know what? You try and make neighborly with them to let them know about these things, and they could care less because they have no vested interest here. And that's the problem, is if you're not a homeowner and there's no sense of community, we keep saying the same pieces, it's about getting new people to come out and be part of it. And that's a big thing here. But that's what we run into as a community in Point Siena.
So, I'm sorry, is your name Amanda?
Yeah.
Okay, sorry, I'm just trying to make connections with names and faces.
Okay.
So I'll stop saying it to you.
I just wanted to make sure. Who is from Village 2? All the people in Village 2. Okay. We are now going to have our meeting and tell everybody else in Village 2. Put this on email, do whatever you have to do. For Village 2, we are now going to meet with the president, Peter Jolly, on the second Tuesday, which is the 8th. All right, but listen, even if you won't be here, tell someone else from the village. Because what we want to do, as the young lady said, we need to get together. We need to be together. We need to put all of our concerns together. We have a mission to get Padilla out of Village 2 so we can get some things done in Point Siena. So it's a very simple thing. Each one go around, tell your neighbors that you know are homeowners that have an interest in here. Because there's a lot of people that come here for the first time.